Do you fear getting deactivated from Uber or Lyft, or actually have been deactivated and tried to fight it, but you had nowhere to go? Well, the city of Seattle is actually starting something that will help drivers be able to appeal this deactivation. And it's the first of the nation, which hopefully will come as a standard across the country. Hey everyone, my name is Chris and welcome to the RideShare Guy. And today let's talk about deactivations and what the city of Seattle is preparing to do for drivers to help with deactivations and be able to appeal it so they can continue driving again with the first in the nation Driver Resolution Center, also known as a DRC. All right, so we're going to go over the press release coming from the office of the mayor in Seattle, and then we'll break it down a little bit more after. So as you can see on the screen right now, this is the news release from the office of the mayor and labor standards. And it is the city of Seattle announces first in the nation Driver Resolution Center, also known as the DRC. So following the 2020 passage of Seattle Mayor Jenny A. Durkan's fair share proposal, the city of Seattle announced the launch of the first in the nation Driver Resolution Center, again, DRC. The drivers' union will provide representation to drivers in arbitration hearings and outreach and education on drivers' rights, including those granted by the TNC Driver Deactivation Rights Ordinance, or the DRO, and its Seattle Municipal Code 14.32. The drivers' union was selected through a request for proposals process that was announced in March. The contract for $5 million will be for 18 months from July 1st of 2021 to December 31st, 2022. The Drivers Union Collaborative will work with Teamsters 117 as a contracted partner. The TNC Driver Deactivation Rights Ordinance protects TNC drivers from unwarranted deactivation, an action that blocks drivers' access to the online platform that allows the driver to provide rides to customers. The law provides a venue for drivers to challenge those deactivations before a neutral arbitrator and authorizes the city to enter into an agreement with an organization to provide Driver Resolution Center services. Seattle is a city of firsts when it comes to worker protections. The Driver Resolution Center is yet another example of how our fair share plan will continue to bring hard-fought worker protections to Seattle's Uber and Lyft drivers. They are an essential workforce, and the city relies on them to provide businesses and residents critical support, said Mayor Jenny Durkan. As the nature of work changes, our workforce protections must too. Once again, Seattle is at the forefront of innovative labor standards that help our city's workers, protect passengers, and provide stability to our economy overall. Thank you to Mayor Durkan and her team for supporting our rideshare drivers through these innovative labor policies. Councilmember Teresa Muskwade. The establishment of the DRC is a historic opportunity for the city to build on protections for transportation network drivers. I have heard stories from drivers about the profoundly negative impact of being deactivated without due process and of the deep inequalities of the prior system. The DRC will ensure that moving forward, drivers will be heard during the deactivation process. My goal has always been to support drivers in their endeavor to create a more equitable environment for all drivers, especially in an industry in which most are immigrants, refugees, and non-native English speakers, said Council President M. Lorena Gonzalez. I am so proud that Uber and Lyft drivers in Seattle are leading the way on groundbreaking labor standards that set an example for the rest of the country, said Peter Kiel, president of Drivers Union, who started driving for Uber and Lyft in 2014. Starting July 1st, if a driver is terminated without cause, they will have legal appeal rights and a strong advocate on their side. The Drivers Union will deliver Driver Resolution Center services at no cost to TNC drivers and consistent with the requirements of SMC 14.32. Specifically, the organization will provide consultation and support services to drivers facing deactivation, direct legal representation to drivers in deactivation arbitration proceedings, outreach, education, and support to drivers about their rights, and culturally and language-specific services to drivers in the primary languages that drivers speak. I lost my job after I was the victim of being hit by an uninsured driver, said Narain Fofana, a ride-hail driver who was deactivated by Uber in 2018. Even though investigations by both the police and Uber's own insurance company found that I was not at fault, I still lost my job. I am so glad that moving forward, other drivers will not have to experience what my family went through. On behalf of the Office of Labor Standards, I am excited to see the launch of this new partnership with the drivers union. This collaboration represents another step forward toward ensuring fair treatment for all Seattle TNC drivers by providing no-cost representation to drivers to challenge unfair deactivations. Drivers invest their time, money, and future in their jobs to support our community, and they should have the same opportunity to safeguard their livelihood through a fair process that allows them to contest potentially unwarranted deactivations, said OLS Director Stephen Marchese. All right, so that was the entire press release, which it was a lot, but it was still a really nice thing to see. And being the first of its kind across the nation, this is something I would really love to see for all areas, because it's impossible to try to state your case whenever you are dealing with any type of deactivation. There's false deactivations, there's deactivations without really any cause. And then you saw the one where even though it wasn't her fault and got hit, she was still deactivated from the platform. So there's a lot of problems when it comes to these companies just saying, oh, well, we're going to just get a new driver, especially when drivers actually want to drive and continue driving. So this is something I'm really happy to see. And I want to hear what your thoughts are on this. So comment below and let us know. Now, this is just one part of what Seattle is actually doing when it comes to their Seattle-based TNC rideshare drivers. This is only part of it, which is a really big part and something that drivers should have access to, and not just in Seattle, but like I said, across the entire country, because it is a real problem when you don't know if you're going to get deactivated, especially if it's a false accusation and there's no real research done or way to find out your side of the story. They just take it at face value and you get an email saying you've been deactivated. So something does have to change. Now, for drivers outside the city that are wondering, what could you possibly do? There are different rights that you do have, and it will vary state by state. But one of the things that you could do is there is a video that Harry just released with his podcast interview with Larry Smith, and you can check that out. A link will be in the description below, so it'll give you a little bit more information, and it's going to be talking about more like deactivations and background checks. So if you want to see that, make sure you click the link in the description below. All right, and if you want to see something like this come to your area where you have somebody on your side who will help fight any type of false accusation that led to a deactivation or an unwarranted deactivation, or just be able to fight it overall, then make sure you smash that like button. And also make sure you subscribe and ring the bell for notifications so you'll be notified every time new videos are uploaded. All right, everyone, drive safe.